Chelsea Football Club beat Spurs back-to-back, yet Mauricio Pochettino isn't happy. It's an explosive interview straight after the game to the point where the Sky Sports pundits were left awkward and didn't know how to react to what he was saying. The quotes are absolutely amazing. He calls out the fans, he calls out the players, he calls out the ownership and directors. It is very passionate, it is very emotional, and I can't believe he did this. He speaks about Conor Gallagher's contract later on in the evening. Chelsea are looking at a wonder kid once again in Estavio Willian. I'm telling you now, do it. 50 million euros, do it. If you have to sign him tomorrow, do it. I am telling you, do it. Stop wasting time. And finally, we're looking forward to the West Ham game. Levi Colwill, Nkunku, and Reece James. We've got positive news. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Kafka's You My Chelsea Brado here. For those of you that don't know about this channel, you know I bring you the most relevant, up-to-date news regarding Chelsea Football Club and other football-related topics if the story is big enough, and we cover it in great detail, straight to the point. We don't waste time. What I ask of you is, number one, subscribe to the channel. Number two, hit the like button. Is the best way you can support me free of charge. There's no need for a super chat or anything like that. Just support by hitting the like button and subscribing. And finally, for those of you that don't understand the struggles of being a YouTuber, last night I recorded a match review. I'm about to post. It's not working. YouTube is broken. YouTube was not processing my video. And guess what? I ended up missing out on posting it. I posted it at 6 a.m. in the morning when I woke up. I stayed up till 2 and I couldn't get it across. So at the end of this video, the link is there. Go and watch my match reaction for the Chelsea victory over Spurs. Enjoy it, because I can't lie to you, I showered a lot of players with praise, and even Pochettino. You will enjoy it. It is objective, it is realistic, and it's none of the fluff. You will like it. So at the end of the video, make sure you stay tuned. But now with the rest of the video. Mauricio Pochettino is under a lot of pressure. And how we know he's under a lot of pressure, because as human beings, when pressure rises, what do? We get nervous, we don't speak properly, and more importantly, we start to get emotional. And he is getting very, very emotional. Chelsea win a big game. Chelsea now are in a very good position to get 6th place. They just need to win their last 4 games. They need to make a statement. They need to go on a nice little run, and all of a sudden, people are going to change their tune on this season. People are going to start saying, oh, maybe Poch deserves more time. Maybe Poch should be staying. But Poch was very angry. And it was so evident to the point where the Sky Sports pundits, after he walked off, one of them, I think it was Karen Carney, said, I don't think he understood our question. Like, she felt really awkward. And you could see he's a man that's under a lot of stress. And I actually feel sorry for him. I've said this before. I'm going to say it again. The language barrier is an issue. He cannot communicate his points across in the fluency that he wants to if it was in Spanish. As somebody that speaks multiple languages, somebody that English is not my first language, and sometimes I get sentences constructed in the wrong way as well. It is very difficult to translate from a different language that you're thinking and what you want to say to the language that you're speaking, and under the circumstances that Pochettino is under. He's consistently getting every word, every little detail scrutinized. Let me talk to you about what he said. Story number 1, he says managers don't get enough time. We need to give enough time, and I need the directors to understand this. Basically, he's basically telling them I need enough time, and then he says it's not my decision. Direct shot at the owners and at the directors. He wants public support. He also goes on to say every week there's scrutiny, every week there's judgment. Whilst I agree with him, and whilst I agree it is heightened, you're at Chelsea Football Club, you're not at Spurs, you're not at Espanyol, you're not at Southampton. You need to accept that at Chelsea Football Club, people care more. There is a bigger emphasis on you winning matches. He proceeds on saying, the best performance this has been in the last 10 months. And people took that out of context, because certain people said, well, hold on, if this is the best performance, what are you saying about the players that aren't playing? What are you saying about the players that have been getting you to finals? But he didn't mean it in that way, because if you listen to what he's saying it's the best performance from 2 sides. He said Noni was tracking back, doing both sides of the game. He said all the players were doing both sides of the game, and we are progressing. I think what he's trying to highlight here is we are going in one direction. At the moment, everything was always, when we're on the ball, everyone's working. It's something I've been saying. Off the ball, people aren't working hard enough. How often do I come on this platform and I say, Mudryk and Noni need to work harder. Saka and Gabriel work so much harder. You see Foden, Bernardo Silva on the wings, Doku, Grealish, they work their socks off. Our players are not above working their socks off. They have to. You must work hard. Yet they don't, and it frustrates me. And that's what I think he means when he says, for the first time in 10 months, we're starting to click. And I agree with it. Yesterday was a great indication of us clicking. He goes on and says, I've got 1 more year left on my contract. No one wants to mention it. Every time is he getting sacked in the summer? As at this moment in time, I've got a year left. If they want to get rid of me, ciao, bye. Basically, he's saying, I don't care. Because he's at that stage. He's emotionally drained. He's emotionally fatigued, and you can tell. This is a man that came in chirpy with a little bot, nice little shirt, you know, a couple buttons under. Now he is tight, compact, and stressed. You can tell. And this is what this job does to you. And then he also adds in the press conference, enough is enough. Enough is enough. Stop with the rumors. Stop with the nonsense. And for me, I agree with him, because what's happening at this moment in time is there's no clarity. They either should have sacked him or they need to come out and publicly back him, because what they're doing is there's a cloud, and I don't blame them, because they're waiting to see how things end up before they retaliate. And you know what? I don't blame the directors and the owner, but at the same time, I feel really bad for Pochettino. My stance on Pochettino is very simple. You all know my stance. If we get Amorim or Tuchel, replace him tomorrow. If we can't get those two, I don't see any other managers available at the moment for us to go after. I don't want a De Zerbi. I don't want a Hansi Flick. I don't want a Lopetegui. I think we are better than that, and some of these moves are sideways moves. Personally, after considering my thoughts for the last few weeks, I've been consistently saying Amorim, Tuchel. Other than that, I'm not interested. Give me your thoughts in the comments. What do you think? By the way, something needs to change. If Mauricio Pochettino's here next year, Conor Gallagher has to stay. Because Mauricio's comments were bright and clear about this whole situation. He said, I am not involved with the Conor Gallagher contract situation. I don't know what's happening. Then he went on to say, look at my team. He always plays. And the fact that Conor is consistently playing. Conor's the first name on the team sheet. Mauricio loves. I don't think it's a coincidence how much Conor Gallagher plays for Chelsea. He also said, this is the club and this is Conor's discussion. I'm not involved. It's eye-opening. It is absolutely eye-opening. He has no control and they're not asking for his opinion. And this is why I think they're going to replace him. How do you have a manager, best player, not being discussed with the manager whether he's going to stay or leave? This has got absolutely crazy. Personally, you know my stance on Conor Gallagher. We can move him on. But if you're keeping Pochettino under these conditions, surely he will not want to lose his best player. He also went as far to say in the Sky interview, we've got a bunch of players and people think, oh, it's a name. He's going to play well. He's going to play well. But sometimes when they're not in form, I have to drop them, but I can't. And this is what he's saying because of the uproar. He needs to be patient with the players. He's basically calling out big names. And for me, this situation has got to such a mess and he doesn't care anymore. He genuinely doesn't care. Whilst I feel sorry for him at times, I also say there is a lot of things that he has done that are causing him at this moment in time to be in this situation. The dependency of playing players out of position because they have more experience rather than playing players in their own positions with less experience is causing problems. The adjustments, the lack of them, is causing problems. But he is developing certain players, and you know what? I can't lie to you. Amorim and Tuchel, we're good. Anyone else at this moment in time, I'm not sacking him. On to some more positive news. Chelsea are in a position at this moment in time where we are going to be having an opportunity to go for the Europa League. The Europa League is in a situation now where we win our 4 games. I think we get it definitely. Because Manchester United, unless they beat Newcastle or unless Newcastle beat Manchester United, it might be out of our hands. But even then, I think both those teams will drop points somewhere because of the nature of the league. I also think us winning 4 games in a row is highly unlikely. But we're in a position where players are coming back. Reece James looks in contention to be in the squad. 2 players that are definitely going to be on the bench based on Pochettino and other reports saying Levi Colwill and Christopher Nkunku. That will make a massive difference. That all of a sudden gives us a different avenue of Christopher Nkunku to come in and be competition. And Mudryk might not start game because he looks shot of confidence, by the way. Absolutely shot of confidence. You also will have Levi coming in. He could play centre back. That will be refreshing for us. And finally, Reece James, do I need to say anything? He is our GOAT. Like, he's one of our best players. Bro, he's the captain. I love that player. Genuinely, he's one of our only few world-class players. And we don't understand how good he is because we haven't seen him play for so long. So personally, Chelsea just need to do what Chelsea need to do and then hope Manchester City beat Man United, which is highly likely, by the way, in the final. Otherwise, we lose the Europa League spot. We need Europa League. It is imperative, in my opinion. This next story is going to be triggering a lot of people. And the reason I say it's going to trigger a lot of people is because people are emotional at the moment with the fact that Chelsea is spending too much money on youth when we haven't got the right players for the first team. Estavio Willian is a 17-year-old that is smashing it in Brazil, right? He is meant to be the next Endrick, or not next Endrick, he's meant to be on par with Endrick. He is a player that plays on the wing, can play at number 10, extremely techy, can go both ways in the sense of right foot, left foot, very good dribbler, good weight of pass, intelligent, and he needs to develop. However, Chelsea are trying to get the jump on other clubs. Look, we almost had Endrick for 40 million euros with 20 million add-ons. Chelsea backed out last minute. They didn't want to do the move because they panicked. He ended up going to Real Madrid. I don't think they're going to repeat this mistake. Chelsea are going to send a 30 million euro bid with 20 million in add-ons to Palmeiras. This is reports coming out of Brazil that the teams have been talking and Chelsea have decided they're going to make this move. For me, this is an intelligent move. I understand people are going to say, look, at the right wing position, we have Omari Hutchinson, we have Noni, and we've got an Angelo. Where does this kid fit in when Piaz is coming in? My argument is, forget it. I think Angelo, I think Omari, and I think Noni will be moved on unless they take massive steps. This kid is meant to be the next Neymar level talent from Brazil. For me, if you got Piaz who can play the 10, if you got him in Estavio who can play the 10 or the thing, or the wing position, you're settled for the next few years. Keep him in Brazil, let him develop, let him play. When he turns 18, bring him to England, let him slowly get integrated into the squad. Play behind Christopher Nkunku and Cole Palmer. Slowly drip feed the minutes here and there, the way Lamine Yamal was initially introduced, the way Endrick will be introduced. Do that with him and Payet. That will be the three behind the striker, will be Palmer, Nkunku, Piaz, Estavio Willian, and one more left winger. And all of a sudden, you have minutes, you've got experience, and at the same time, you've got youth developing in behind. It's very simple. You have to get the best talents. If you get the best talents, you save yourself money in the long term. My problem is spending 10 million, 12 million on talents that you don't believe in. Talents that you're only going to use to flip. But if you're bringing in talent with an actual plan for them, then so be it. And I think Estavio Willian will have a plan for him. You don't invest 50 million euros if you don't have a plan for players. Trust the scouting system. Because I'm not going to lie to you, there haven't been many misses. There have been a few, Disasi, Sanchez, but there have been so many pros. You're not going to hit with every single signing. That's just my opinion. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and here's the review for yesterday's match. Make sure you go check it out and let me know your thoughts. Peace out, I'm out.